when the Romulans come around the corner and they're pointing their weapons at you, one of them has yelled halt, and it looks to be as if they are attempting to detain you, and they have not opened fire, nor do they look like they are going to open fire unless you guys react in a negative way. So that being said, I'm going to ask your commanding officer as of right now. Was it Colonel Carava? Am I remembering that rank right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you would like to do, or any orders that you would like to give before we go into combat? Again, you could do something that completely mitigates the combat and makes it a non-issue,
Yeah.
you know, a diplomacy roll or something like that. But Karava, you're going to get the first action or task before whatever happens. So what would you like to do?
Can I just say before like they take any action, Shamar would give like a very assured look at him and give a look of like putting his hands up. But I will let you
Okay.
go first.
Okay. I will say I've been sent here we've been sent here in regards. We've been sent here by the
I see.
Toshiar.
Ooh.
We've been sent here by the Toshiar. Lower your weapons. We wish to talk to your leader.
All right. So since you're specifically starting out with a lie, I am going to need a deception check. Presence command. Now, it would have been presence command regardless. The only difference is the difficulty and the complication range may be different. The difficulty is actually going to be 1. However, the complication range is going to go up by 1. So go ahead and put that to 2. And then if anyone would like to assist, maybe they would have to.
Yes, I very much would.
Okay, what would you like to say to assist him?
I'm very conflicted because I was gonna go with blatant truth, but we're lying. Shamar went pause, but I need to think.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I guess Shamar would not go for either the knife or the phaser on his side. He would put his hands up, say we are on a mission, like hold your fire. We are on a mission for the Romulan government. We can prove it to you. We have no hostile intentions.
All right, so roll 1 presence command dice. You don't have to increase the complication range because, as far as I know, you didn't directly state a lie. And then I am going to roll for the guards. And as long as they don't roll higher than whatever you guys combined get, they will basically be like, okay, everything's cool. Let's see. Roll insight command.
And can you, for the newbie here, can you say what was the roll?
Presence and command. Just roll 1 dice. So just change your task roll from 2 to 1. Yep. And let's see if you have a focus. Oh, never mind.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
No, you're good. You're good. Usually you want to check focuses before you do any rolls just to make sure. But yeah, you actually
exactly
succeeded. Sorry, what was that?
And what exactly is that? Just for clarification.
The focus. So that increases your range of having a double success. So like normally if you roll a 1, it's a critical success, so it gives you 2 successes. Whereas if let's say you were going to use the chain of command, which I would have allowed, then you're anything under a 4, which is your command, you could say is a critical success. So let me see actually what you rolled. 11. So no, you just got the 1 success.
And just because I don't know if there's any like difficulties added to a roll, and I want to be honest here, 2 of us are wearing Starfleet badges.
Yeah, no, they
notice.
noticed.
Does that affect the roll in any way?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't because I'm going to need Vosky, which so these checks that you guys are making, as of right now, is not in combat. So the turn order no longer matters. So I need Vosky to make an insight science check on these two on these Romulans. I will have Nari assist.
I would
Does
also
it
like to
have-
say it's the Cardassian with a Starfleet thing
Yeah.
too, so
Does-
like
does-
super sus, super sus.
Does this check have anything to do with their physical bodies,
Absolutely.
their belt? Okay, in that case, my xenobiology focus will apply.
Yep. Nice. So you needed 3. You guys got 3. And you notice one of the guards turn to the other to whisper something, and they have a gill on the back of his neck.
Okay. Vosky's aware that he's being looked at, and he's sort of like in the side in cover, but he's not stealth. So he can't. He's relatively near the front of the group because he was part of the group that went ahead.
Speaking
and
of
then
which,
came back.
1 second.
I would be in the very front.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. So where Nari is currently where the airlock was that little corridor over here. That's where you guys emerged from. Where Karava is, that is the console that you guys are using. Everyone else, just put your tokens wherever you think your character would be. If you can move them, hopefully you can. And where the Romulans are is currently where they are at the moment. They have just come around the corners. So can you go ahead and repeat that, Vosky?
So since Vosky is relatively near the front of the group because he was part of the scout team that came back, he's not at the very front, but he's also aware that he is seen and can't speak without being heard. He's going to try and communicate to the rest of the team that these guys have got the gills by as far as the Romulans are concerned, it'll look like he's scratching the back of his neck.
Nice.
As he's doing it, he's going to be like tap it a little bit and hope that the rest of the team pick up on this.
All right.
I was gonna say also we're like a full on like Navy SEAL team, so I imagine we can give each other looks like something's up.
Yeah, let's see. Go ahead. It's definitely going to be presence. Trying to think if it should be. I think I'll let you use presence and science because you are using your knowledge of their physical bodies and stuff like that to be able to inform everyone. Hey, look at the back of their neck. So go ahead and do a presence and science. The difficulty is actually going to depend on how perceptive the player characters are. So go ahead and roll presence and science, and then we will go ahead with their rolls.
Since this is in theory very important, and this is distrusting these new random people who've come out, I'm going to activate my value for 2 automatic successes of distrustful of outsiders.
Nice. All right.
So here comes the roll.
So you have a total of 4 successes. So here's the option I will go ahead and give you then. With those 4 successes, I will give you 1 momentum, and they don't have to roll. Everyone will notice it and understand what you're trying to say. Or everyone can roll, and we can risk some complications and failures. How do you want to do it?
Oh, no. 1 momentum guaranteed success. This is too important.
Will we ever take the second option?
Because it depends on how much momentum you guys want. So let's see, and also so it would basically kind of be like an opposed check. So like you have 4 successes. So like I would give you more momentum, but then they would roll, and so it'd basically be a give and take thing. So let's see, you guys currently now have 1 momentum. All right, so everyone notices. Is there anything that anyone wants to do or say as you guys notice this? And I will even say that as the 2 guards are talking, you guys can kind of see the gills yourselves at this point.
Shamar takes every inch of his will to not draw his phaser on the spot, but is just looking towards the commander like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But try not to look sus while he's doing it.
Right. All right, Karava, what's the order?
Is there any way I can discreetly access the panel I'm standing beside?
Not particularly, not necessarily because they wouldn't be able to see you. I mean, they definitely would be able to see you, but mainly because in the span of the time that you guys are having this conversation and looking at these guards, only about 10 seconds has passed, and they're about to do something depending on what Karava says next. So unless you can type in something really quickly in 10 seconds, probably not. But again, it does depend on what you're typing. If you're just gonna press a button, then I would say sure. But if you're gonna like actively make some scans or something, then that would be probably not.
No, it was more I was just going to execute what I had been working on and initiate the force field plan. But
Did you guys roll for that?
Initially, well, I hadn't. Initially, it was
Okay.
just put up all the force fields on the ship.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then we started talking about the other options.
Yeah. So like yeah, that would definitely take longer than 10 seconds at this point. And it also would they would because they're security guards, they would know exactly what you're doing as soon as you started doing it. So
Yeah.
Karava, do you have any quick orders that you want to give?
Out of character, do we want to fight these guys?
We have no choice. It looks like
Yeah,
we're
out
either
of
gonna
character,
get
that's probably the
imprisoned
best plan.
or yeah, like
I
we
was,
have no
I was
choice.
gonna, I was gonna trick him and make him think that the Tao Xiao wants.
Well, that's exactly why I'm letting you guys decide, and do all of these things in the 10 seconds that you have because
Yeah,
we
the
don't
only
have
thing
any
that
time
you need
to
to
communicate. Sorry.
Yeah, the only thing you need to remember, Karava, is that you're tricking symbiotes, not normal Romulans. So
Right.
that might adjust your trick.
which again I will go ahead and tell you that as far as these parasitically controlled Romulans are concerned, Karava has told them the truth and they are about to respond. So so essentially Karava, your whatever you decide at this point is kind of going to happen at the same time as they respond, whether they respond by opening fire, whether they respond by speaking to you, so keep that in mind. You may just want to wait to see what happens, or you can go ahead and jump the gun and do something, and then that could completely negate your previous roll.
Out of character, we have Starfleet badges on. We have no choice. They are going to kill us. Or imprison us, which is more likely.
I'll just I will I'll ask who is your current commanding officer?
One of the Romulan Ulans says, "I'm glad you asked that. We were about to take you to them now." I was hoping so much that you were not just going to open fire and cause an hour and a half long combat session. So yeah, they are prepared to take you to their leader, so to speak, if you are willing to go.
I thought we were being imprisoned.
Well, they are going to ask for your weapons, so
But carry on.
Yeah, I'm wearing a fucking Starfleet uniform. I can't keister this. God damn it! Yeah, I hand over everything. Do they take our tricorders?
They don't care about your tricorders. They don't care about your combat badges. They just want your weapons.
Hidden blessings.
They want your
They don't
weapon.
take our combat badges either.
They don't take your comm badges. They allow Karava to keep her disruptor, but they want everyone else's weapons.
But I gave them.
All right. Does anyone not give up their weapons besides Karava?
I will look at Karava and raise my eyebrows and wait for a signal.
What's the order of
I'm
this?
waiting
I
a little
imagine-
bit on what Karava goes
I imagine
for here.
Shamar would hand his weapons over last.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah.
So if I see something else happen, I'll hand over my knife and stab into his gut. But yeah, assuming something happens.
So Karava or Edgeford
what are we
and
doing?
Kamina.
Gotta give us some orders. What are we doing?
I'm waiting for Karava's order.
I have no idea. So do you want to fight them or not? Just basically.
I think the GM just explicitly told us we probably shouldn't. But I mean, it's up to you.
It is up to you. I have it planned either way. So either way is fine with me as the GM. I will just say right now that they are not really a threat to you as far as they're going to do some serious damage to you. They are just seeking to take you to their commanding officer.
I'll suggest for you to hand over your rifles, but don't necessarily don't pretend don't if they don't take your face pistols, don't necessarily offer them the face pistols.
Yeah, I only have a pistol, so if the order is to hand over rifles, I'll leave my pistol holstered.
Well,
I don't know
any
that.
weapons,
They're not stupid.
Yeah, any weapons that they can visibly see, they want, except for Karava's. So I don't know what you guys. I don't remember. I think you guys brought rifles, but if you have rifles or Type 2 or Disruptor, they ask for them if they can visibly see them. They're not.
That's interesting.
They
because
don't frisk you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's it. If that happens, then and the order is to give them over, then Vosky will give over his Type 3, but for the moment he'll hold on to his Type 1.
Okay. Yep. Type
that's
1
what
has
they-
Type 1's hidden. Yep. You can.
Yep.
If you have a Type 1, you can. And I believe only Vosky does because he's the lowest rank, if I remember correctly.
It's because I think it's because he's got Science Branch or terrible
Yeah.
security score. He just
Yeah.
gets Type 1 as standard rather than Type 2.
Yeah.
Okay, we take way too much. We take way too much time to decide something. It's been 22 minutes.
So-
Are we going with them? What is happening?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going with them.
All right, so
okay.
I'm
gonna
go-
hang towards the back since we give up all of our weapons, assumingly. I'm gonna hang towards the back. I'm gonna rip off like a portion of my sleeve so I could use it to maybe like choke someone later. I'm just gonna like put it around my hand. Cardassian's gotta have some sort of weapon.
Do you hand over your knife or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's a Starfleet uniform. I imagine there's no way to hide it.
I mean, I would say you
Question-
could put it in your boot, and that would be fine.
I
Question for
imagine
G.
this thing. I imagine this thing kind of looks like the Klingon big dagger.
Okay.
But yeah, if you give me the opportunity, I'll try it.
I mean, I don't mind
Try
either
it.
way. If you want it in your boot, that's
yeah,
completely
I'll
fine.
try it. I'll try it. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd be able to. I was imagining like fucking,
Yeah, they're not frisking you.
tricorder and phaser spot. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll try it.
Question for the GM about weapon safety things in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Do our weapons, or at least the Starfleet ones, have the option not just to obviously put on a conventional safety, but a sort of unauthorized user cannot use this weapon kind of feature? Or is
You
that
mean-
just not a thing?
You mean can it detect like who's actually using it, like a thumbprint
I'm-
or like DNA?
That, I know that's not a normal thing, but more like a 3-digit code or something like that
Yeah,
to
lockout.
activate it.
Okay, that would
pin or
that
something.
that would either take a prepare action or you would spend a momentum, which you only have one to do that. Which
Okay.
would you like to do? Either of those or none of those?
I'm not going to activate the lock if that's what we'll cause, because so it's essentially so the Romulans can't turn it on us.
I mean,
but
I mean,
yeah.
if you're handing them
There you go.
if you're handing them a phaser rifle, they literally just toss it into like a storage unit. Like
Okay.
they have no plan. They have their own disruptor
No need.
rifles. They have no need for this. So and
is okay.
I'll even tell you that like there's a storage unit like maybe 10 feet down the corridor. So you guys know where they will be.
All right.
So
Let's go. Let's go.
so as you guys are walking down the corridor, you're heading up the you're as far as you know you're on like one of those mid-level decks. So you're heading towards like a turbo lift, and to your right as you're going down the corridor, you see the same two Riemann guards that you guys saw earlier. However, they stop in their tracks and like looking at each other really confused, and then they look back to you guys and the guards. Does anyone want to do anything?
I just watch and see what proceeds.
Yeah, just being alert.
Do I recognize these Riemann guards from when we were on the ship before?
Yes, they are the personal guards of the first officer and the captain.
I
Whoa,
will
okay, whoa.
try to make some sort of motion to ask them for help, essentially, discreetly as I can.
Okay, presence and
Can you-
command.
Can you describe that one more time? I'm so sorry. Can you describe that? There were guards
they-
for
yep.
the.
They are the personal guards of the first officer who was a traitor and of the commanding officer who you know is not a traitor.
Okay. Thank you.
So presence, command.
Any chance that this is negotiation?
Let me look at your focuses. Just there might be something better. I know you're an engineer, so maybe
There's
not.
anything there. Unless they're made out of metal.
Sure, go with negotiation. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get them to look at you. They're also empathic, so as soon as you do that, they're kind of like looking at the guards, and then they turn and look to you directly. And when they see you're kind of like giving them the eye, like this isn't normal. Hello. One of them turns to and remember these guards are Ulans. They're about the same. They're a little bit higher rank than the Riemann guards only because they're officers, but the Remans notoriously look down on them. So they turn to the Romulan guard and they say, "What is the meaning of this? These are our bridge officers." And the Romulans, the Ulans, turn and basically give them some bullshit excuse about, well, ever since the dreadnought came and knocked out our engines, we've being prepared and we're taking them to the bridge, etc., etc. And I need. Does anyone here have empathy as a talent? No. Okay.
Definitely not.
I think our operations officer does, but
Right, not here. Also, Odom did, not here. All right, so I would like everybody to roll Insight Security, difficulty 2. This is just your basic perception check. Insight and
That's
security.
one. It's complication range 1. Task
Complication range 1. Someone has to at least get 2 successes, though. You have 1 momentum. You have to change that up to 2.
Oh.
Yep.
There you go. Hey.
Wow, that's a lot better. I think that's everyone. Maybe not. Yeah, Vosky rolled. Okay, so I will give you guys 1 momentum. So you notice a Romulan. This is actually kind of funny, to be honest. Let me move you guys. But you notice a Romulan female coming towards you. The 4 guards are preoccupied with the Remans. So let me just grab the Remans.
I had to look up a picture of what these guys look like, and they look pretty sick.
Yeah, the vampires, basically. So yeah, the 4 guards are all looking. I mean, they still have you guys in their peripheral, but they definitely don't see this Romulan coming up behind you guys. And you're the security chief, and you notice that she's coming. She has. Sorry, go ahead.
Does she she's Skyrim stealthing on me right now? Like
No, she's just like, well, when you first see her, she is kind of like in the shadows around a corridor, kind of peeking. But then it looks like once she notices that the guards are not looking at her, she comes around the corner kind of boldly. She does know that you see her, so she and her.
Let me stop you right there. As soon as I see her in the shadows with like a flash of speed, I look at her with a death stare.
Okay, well that's great, but her weapon is holstered. And I'm just saying. When she sees you look at her, she gives you a look like, be quiet.
Okay. I'll play along.
Do you try to get any of the?
I will look away.
All right. Do you try to get to any of the others to notice her, or are you just gonna pretend like you don't notice her?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Keeps it to himself.
So, as the Remans and Romulans are kind of bickering essentially back and forth about why are you taking our bridge officers wherever the hell you're taking them,
I do want to try to make that indication that we're in danger to them if I still can.
Oh no, they know this. Yeah, that at this point they are well aware, and they, like I said before, they do have Romulan disruptors, and they are they're not pointed directly at the Romulans because they would they would basically be executed for treason, but they are pointed at like their feet at the floor, like ready, like as soon as the word is given, they're going to draw on them. But then that is when the Romulan woman comes up behind you guys, and she starts to slowly pull her Romulan disruptor pistol out of her holster and point it at one of the Ulans. Are you still pretending like you don't notice anything?
Okay. So this is all just a little confusing because I'm missing a little of the background. So Romulans fighting vampire guys, and the Romulans are seemingly on our side, right? Or is it the Remans that are on our side?
The Remans are on your side because they know you. The guards, as far as you guys know, used to maybe perhaps be part of your crew, but are now controlled by alien parasites.
Yeah. Okay.
They're the ones that all look exactly the same.
As soon as I see her begin to pull out a pistol, I shove her up against the ground, and I pull up my dagger. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
As soon as you do that, the Reman...
Not the ground, sorry, like a wall.
That's fine.
Push her to the ground, yeah.
As soon as you do that, that alerts the Romulan guards, and one of them turns to point his weapon at you guys, at you and the Romulan, and the other 3 kind of direct their weapons towards the Remans and pretty much everyone else. The Remans raise their weapons. Karava, what are your orders?
God.
I think it's shooty time now.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry.
I'm
Yes.
gonna. I'm gonna
guessing.
shoot.
Carry on.
She was pulling a pistol as far as he knew.
I'm gonna shoot at the. I'm just gonna shoot one of. I'm gonna shoot at one of the Romulan Ulans. I'm
Okay.
just gonna order the Remans to do the same. Shoot at the
Okay.
shoot at the
Yeah.
Ulans.
Okay. So, and is that your overall order to your player characters as well? Is basically defend yourselves?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's how.
Given-
So go ahead.
So given this commotion, I'm guessing the moment that this woman is slammed up against the wall, the rest of the party becomes aware as they spin around.
Oh, yeah,
and see
absolutely.
What's going on.
Yeah, I
and
imagine
so-
that's sorry.
Does my recollection may be somewhat inaccurate, so I may be about to slightly embarrass myself. But does Vosky recognize the face of the person who should be the captain of this ship?
No.
Because was that the artwork? Oh, okay, it's not
No.
the artwork.
So-
It's just,
Oh, all right. I was like, oh
I think that's the engineer.
So
Yeah, I think that's the
That's my
engineer that's on
character.
our side.
So, Karava and probably, actually just Karava, you recognize her as the person that sent you the message on the shuttle earlier, as the medical officer Drusilla. Everyone else probably would not recognize her, as there are literally
Yeah.
3,000 people on this ship, so you probably wouldn't know everybody. But
yeah, and Shamar's never seen her before.
Yep. So, Karava, you said you were firing at one of them. I'm going to need you. So, drawing your weapon is the minor action. So, I'm going to need you to fire with control and security. Difficulty is 2. And if you hit them, because you're using a disruptor, they don't automatically get stunned. Then you will roll damage. So go ahead and control and security. Difficulty is 2. You have 2 momentum.
There was also I'm just gonna say as well, like not like the extra bloodthirsty or anything. They're infected with the parasites, and
Yeah.
so like they can't be rescued.
Yeah, you
So,
have
yeah,
to kill them.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I roll into security first, and let's hope that works. Aha!
Nice. All right, so you hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good news is one of them immediately takes an injury. With your effect, let me look for effects. I think that says Vicious 1. I'm pretty sure that is an additional damage. Actually, I'm so sure I'm not really going to look it up. So that's 7 damage. And the green energy beam hits him like right in the gut. Actually, you tell me, where are you? You're not too far away, so you can pretty much aim wherever you want and hit him. Where are you aiming at?
Also, the disruptor pistol has 3 damage on its own as well. It
Sorry.
has its own-
Sorry,
its
what?
own- and, disruptor pistol has its own damage rating as well.
Well, it's it's that plus your security, right?
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna. I don't think it necessarily matters where you hit somebody with a disruptor. So I just went for the body mats, basically.
Okay, so yeah, it hits him in the torso. You see the green splotch of burned blood just appear, and you know the outline of the charred uniform. He basically drops his weapon as he staggers backwards. Then he kind of glares at you as this has not killed him. Actually, before I say that, let me look at his
Oh,
character
jeez.
sheet. Yeah, this has not killed him.
Yes, I hesitate to use the word symbiotes, but the hosts are hella strong. And hella
Yes.
tough.
Yeah, that's what I was scared of too.
All right,
Like,
so-
you fucking.
So now it is.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it.
At least he.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say at least he dropped his rifle.
Yep, he
With
did drop his
touch
rifle.
punch.
So now it's the other enemy's turn. He is going to fire at the Riemann. Let's see. So, oh yeah, the way combat works, instead of having a set initiative, because that's horribly boring and I hate it, Star Trek Adventures basically just says player character versus enemy versus player character versus enemy, and you guys as the player characters get to decide who goes and stuff like that. So I'm assuming the security officer is going to go next on your side, but it's up to you guys who you want to go next.
I don't necessarily need to go next, but I know what I want to do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus vicious.
Oh God.
So that's at 7 as well. And
I'm gonna make life really, really awkward for us. I do apologize because you said I wonder what vicious does. I think it's 1 extra damage. So I quickly went to page 192 in the rulebook, and it's an extra damage for every effect rolled.
Okay, so that would have been at 8.
That's a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's 8 damage. So, and even so, though, he is not. Actually, yes, I believe they have a 3 resistance as well, so that would actually only be 5. He's still injured, but yeah. So the neural parasite controlled people have a +3 resistance, at least in this game. I don't remember what it is in the rules as written, but I don't really care. So yeah, he hits the Riemann. The Riemann, similar to the other guy, staggers backwards. However, he is not as badly hurt, it seems, as the Romulan that was shot. And of course, the Riemann raises his rifle, like ready to go to town. So, which of the player characters is going?
I can go, but I don't mind. It's not really an important turn.
And you know what? Just because I'm nice and talking really, speaking in character is not a minor action or an action. It's just something you can do freely, as long as you're not like doing a monologue or anything. But basically, Drusilla yells at you, "You idiot! I'm the one who called you here."
Yeah. So just I can kind of portray what I would have done. I would have just been like staying there, like dagger to her throat, like, "Who are you? What are you doing?" As she says this to me, I'm gonna take the. I'll describe what I want to do. I don't know how it works in game. I'm gonna flip the dagger in my hand and I'm gonna chuck it at one of the Romulans.
Oh, nice. So go ahead and make a. I'll let you decide, since the knife is a melee weapon, so that would normally be a daring and security move. However, if you're using it as a ranged weapon, that's control. So I'll let you decide control or daring and security. Difficulty 3. I'm gonna say it's difficulty 3 because that's really hard to do in real life.
Okay. That was a lot of information. One more time.
So, first of all, if you're looking at your character sheet, pick between control or daring and click on whichever's your highest.
Okay.
And then
Control,
security.
Yep.
And then it's going to be a difficulty 3, so normally you roll 2 dice. So if you want to spend momentum to get an extra dice, you can, or you can give me threat. Either way is fine to get an additional dice. Because the only way to get 3 successes with 2 dice is if you crit.
I'm very nub here. Does anybody not want me to spend momentum? I would like to do it, but does anybody not want me to?
Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. It's difficulty 2. However,
I don't want to spend a party resource without knowing about it.
However, I am going to increase the complication range by 1. So that way.
So it's complication range 2 and then task roll 3?
Nope. Okay. Task roll is 2, unless you're spending momentum. Because
I would like to, yes.
Okay, so that goes up to 3. I put your momentum down to 1, and the difficulty is 2. So go ahead and roll and see what happens.
And can I use any focuses in this here?
Do you have anything regarding blades or target practice?
Hand-to-hand combat?
No, that's pretty.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's
pretty
specific.
Then, what is this?
Hey, go ahead and change that to martial arts, and then next time you can use it.
Yeah, sure.
Martial arts is way more broad.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really know what I was thinking.
Yeah, you're good.
Hey.
So you guys are up to 2, back up to 2 momentum, and now you're gonna have to roll your dagger damage. So on your character sheet, just scroll down.
I do not have a dagger because we just talked about it.
All right. Yeah, I'll just
made it up.
I'll just make it real quick. Knife. I think it's normally 2.
Oh, I can like watch you live editing my shit. It's awesome.
And it's vicious 1. All right, so now go ahead and click that that comm badge symbol.
Starfleet.
Yep.
Yep.
1, 2. So two plus an effect. So I'm looking, and the effect was vicious, so it's 3 damage. So basically, the knife gets stuck in his shoulder. Doesn't really, do any major injuries to him, but it's gonna hurt like a bitch. And yeah, he is going to take
Can I
3
move?
damage.
Can I? What else can I do? Can I move up to him?
Yes, you can move because you
Yeah, so
you
I'm-
have not done your minor action yet.
So yeah, I'm holding up her against the wall, scream at her. She tells me that I, with a quick motion, chuck the dagger into his or into his clavicle or whatever. I'm just gonna rush up to him and just get up right in his face.
All right.
I don't want. From his perspective, Shamar just wants to get any damage
Yeah.
going towards him.
Okay. So now I'm gonna say it's his turn next because it makes sense. He is actually as you get up in his face. Instead of firing, because he's got a dagger in his shoulder and it makes it a lot harder to fire, he yanks the dagger out, and he is going to plunge it towards you.
Oh yes, I love you. Do it. Do it. Awesome. I don't even care if my character dies. It's awesome. Sick.
Let's see.
That's what I'm
It's going to be
talking about.
daring and security. I'm actually going
And
to.
I'll just say, just because I'd like to splice up the flavor. I mean, I'm just looking at him with like a Klingon death stare, like growling him.
So here's the good thing about melee attacks. You get to oppose this. I am spending a threat to increase my number of dice to 3. I also have a focus of martial arts. So essentially, in order for you to oppose this, you have to get higher than 2 successes, which is what I just rolled. So daring security, higher 2. You can spend momentum. You have 2 momentum if you want to get an extra dice, or you can.
Okay, and then complication range and task roll. Where's that at?
Task rolls 2,
Without momentum.
unless you're going to spend momentum. I'm going to actually spend another threat to increase the complication range by 1 again. That way, if he does happen to miss, or in that way, in case. Yeah, go ahead.
So not only can we use threat, you can use threat against us. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, threat is my version of momentum. So you can give me threat as payment for things, but I can also use the threat against you.
I love it. Yeah, it's like sanity ruling.
Yep.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to spend too much momentum here, but I feel like I'm gonna die, so I think I need to. I will spend another momentum. I'm sorry if I'm, eating all your resources up, but let's try here.
Oh, so unfortunately,
2.
attacker wins ties. So basically, this is what I imagine happening. You tell me if you imagine something different. But he's like plunges it towards you, and you grab him by the hands at the last second. But he does that slow. What's that movie called? The army movie where it goes in really, really slowly into your stomach.
Oh God. Yeah, so I'll add a little flavor onto that. As we're like struggling back and forth, just like a big macho struggle. He like brings the dagger overhead towards me, and I grab it with both hands. I grab the dagger, but he still manages to. So I'm holding the dagger with my hand, and it's now in my stomach.
Yep. So 1,
just,
2, 3,
and
4. So that is 5 total damage. So on your character sheet, remove 5 stress, or however you want to state that.
Okay, I've never done that before.
Okay, so on your character sheet, for some.
Oh, I see.
So why is some of your stress filled in? Is that how much you're supposed to have, or?
I have no idea.
Okay, well,
so.
there. All right, so just fill in 5 of those. So that means you have an injury. So below that it says injuries. Just right blade wound or whatever, however you want to word that, because this thing goes in like a couple of inches into your gut or in your shoulder or wherever you want it to happen. But essentially, all future tasks involving movement or combat or anything like that is going to be increased difficulty of 1. So instead of shooting with a difficulty of 2, it's difficulty of 3. Instead of punching with a difficulty of 1, it's going to be a difficulty 2, etc. All right, so now that's done.
For the team, guys.
Who else is going? Who's going next? Either Kamina or Vosky, or a medic.
I have a thing I could try to do.
Sure.
Maybe. So I'm an engineer, so I'm not going to grab a gun because I'm terrible with them, anyways. But I want to get to. Well, I'm still by the panel, relatively near the panel.
Yep.
I want to try to access transporters and beam one of the Romulans into space.
Okay.
By the way, did I totally just get warped? I got warped.
Make
Alright.
a because you're Romulan, I'll let you do that with and give myself only one threat. So yeah, go ahead and make a control engineering, difficulty 2, but I'm increasing the complication range to 3.
Okay, I'm gonna buy one extra dice with threat because I'm a bold engineer.
All right.
And here we go.
Wow. So that gives you 2 momentum. I said difficulty 3 or 2. I think I said 2.
You said difficulty 2.
Yeah. So that's 2 momentum. So you're up to 3 momentum. So you transport, and which one are you transporting?
Still with a weapon.
What's that?
One of the ones still with a weapon, sort of, that hasn't done
Alright.
anything
Anyone
yet.
who's
Yeah, one of the ones
Yeah,
who's still
not
full up.
wounded.
Yeah. So he disappears in a green transporter beam. He tries to get off of a disruptor blast as he goes, kind of doing a war cry, but he doesn't make it and he vanishes. All right. So now it's another Ulan's turn. Gonna go back to shooting at the Remans. Let's see. Control. Security. Oh, nice. And roll the damage for the disruptor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One of the Remans just vaporizes in front of you. It was not the one who was already injured. It was the one who didn't get injured at all. All right.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys want to do?
I
Who's
believe
going
it's
next?
Just Volsky to go.
All right.
Thank
If you want me to, I
That's-
can use either. I can have one of the medics go, or I can have Mac's character go. If you do not feel confident in your abilities, depending on what you want to do.
Oh, but Volsky is utterly terrible at combat. That he's not a coward, so he'll try. He'll
Gotcha.
fail, but he'll try.
No problem.
So the one who just fired the disruptor. These disruptors are serious business, and we cannot survive this. So what Vosky's going to do is try and like essentially wrestle the guy. It's not so much with an aim of hurting him; it's with an aim of making him unable to use his ranged weapons effectively. So then other people can take care of him.
All right. Go ahead.
So that's going to be what? Daring security.
And it's going to be opposed.
Yep. No applicable foci. Here we go. Woo! 1.
Wow. Well, you still win. So repeat that again. You're trying to get his weapon away, or trying to get it pointed in a different direction. Is that what you said? Something
Yeah,
to that effect.
Yeah, the whole point of this is to essentially limit his ability to use his weapons effectively, so he can't
Okay.
shoot people and instantly evaporate them.
All right. Make a unarmed attack damage roll.
Okay.
So if you happen to get a bunch of the damage dice or whatever, we'll just say that he's basically knocked up against the wall or knocked onto the deck and takes just one effect. I will say the one effect does knock him down, so he is on his back and his weapon is kind of to the side, not really aimed at anybody. So you have succeeded in that at least. But he only took 1 damage, which didn't really do much. He basically sprained a pinky. All right.
Doesn't matter. As long as he's got control, not control, but as long as he's sort of shifting where the end of that barrel is pointing, Volsky is considering it mission success.
All right, so I am going to take this Ulan and fire at Nari because one less medical officer is fun. Control security. Nice. Let's see. Disruptor rifle. Wow. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Sorry, Nari. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What is Nari's health at.
We're getting cleaned up right now, guys.
Yeah.
Oh
although I
no.
think, well, no, I don't think most people took them.
Okay,
I was just
Nari
thinking,
has
remember,
one
we
one stress left.
Yeah, I was thinking. Remember, we tried to put on the body armor for those 2 points of resistance, but Volsky might be the only one who actually did it.
Did y'all put on body armor? I do not
We put on-
remember.
I don't remember
I do.
this, but if we
It's
did, I
on,
probably would have done that.
because it's on Volsky's sheet.
I imagine he was kind of like Janeway'd up, like fucking, got like all those
Well-
fucking, like the
Yeah.
shotgun shell fucking things going on. Yeah.
Well, if you did, make sure it's in your sheet and where it says other equipment at the bottom there. Put body armor, and then change your resistance. Was it +1 or +2?
It's +2 standard for the body armor.
Okay, and then put +2. So basically, if let's say you get 7
Other
damage.
equipment. You said body armor.
Yeah. So let's say you get 7 damage, it automatically reduces it to 5. So it basically just reduces 2 of the damage from you. But just make sure.
So would my stress level change?
Yeah, just add 2 stress back.
Okay. Cool.
All right. And again, I don't
Alright,
know.
so, cool.
I think I specifically said last time I'm not keeping track of who's got what. You guys are doing that, so
Yep.
keep that in mind.
You did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, all right. I believe. Yep, that was his turn. Okay, so who's next? I'm guessing either Drusilla or Mr. What's his face? Lex. I'm actually gonna say Drusilla because she was ready to do it anyway, and before she was so rudely interrupted.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
She stealths out of the shadows. I'm like, oh, no.
All right, let's see here. Oh, good. She's a doctor. She has some decent control, but she's got some not too decent security. All right. So she fires. Ooh, gives you guys another momentum, and the beam goes directly at one of the Romulans. Let's see here. Disruptor pistol 3 range. Let's see what happens. Vicious 1. 1, 2, 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So the guy that got hit, actually, yeah, this guy, because she's not going to shoot at him because he's too close to Shamar. So she shoots at the one that's further away, and essentially, he is pretty badly injured. It basically tears through one of his arms, dropping actually, he was the one that dropped the rifle earlier. So tears through one of his arms, and as he's reaching for his rifle, and he just screams out in pain and like looks for the nearest person to kill. All right, so who's next? I think it's back at the top.
Can I
Oh wait, no, it's a Ulan.
can I just ask a quick
Yeah,
question?
go ahead.
In like the specific episode of the parasite, whatever, when they died, typically there'd be like some of them would start crawling out onto the floor. Do we see that at all?
Well, so far no one has died except for the guy in space. So no.
I'm sorry, like the guy that was like on the ground. I thought he died.
No, he just got knocked down. He got like literally 1 damage removed from him. He's still
Okay.
As soon as it's his turn, he's getting back up.
Yeah,
So-
Vosky isn't that strong.
yeah. So the guy, yeah, like I said, the guy got his arm.
Oh, it was the guy that got beamed into space. That's what
Yeah.
confused me.
All right, so now it's Ulan's turn. I'm gonna say it's the guy who stabbed or shanked you, and he's gonna just let go of the blade. If you want to keep holding on to it and keep it, that's fine. He's just gonna let go of it, and he is going to take a step back. And and guys, don't forget, you guys do have minor actions. If you guys have an energy weapon and you have no other minor action to take, you can take the minor action of aim, which allows you to re-roll a dice. So keep that in mind for minor actions. So yeah, he basically just takes a step back as a minor action and then fires directly at Shamar because you were the guy that was attacking him. Yep. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Let's see.
Oh god!
It'll be fine. Hey, I'll tell you what. Because it's funny, I'm actually increasing the complication range. And if he misses, he hits Drusilla.
Oh, that's funny. No.
Yes, yes. Time for some damage. 1, 2. Oh well,
So it hits her and me.
it hurt. It goes like it's 6 inches past you, and hits Drusilla's arm. But it does not. It does 3 damage, so it does not really. It like grazes her.
Yeah.
All
He
right.
almost considers like jumping in front of the blast, but he's like, dude, he's
Well,
already fucked up.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have worked anyway because he was aiming at you. So
Oh right, yeah.
now Karava, you're at top of the initiative order.
Did
So
the Rayman get a chance to shoot back?
well, one of the Remans is dead, and the other one. Oh wait, no, it didn't. So let me go ahead and roll for him real quick. Thanks for reminding me.
And Lex too still has a chance to go.
Okay, yeah.
I guess my other question is still relevant. What about the other Reman? The little crawly crawl?
No, that as far as you guys know, they're good. They're fine. They're not.
Okay, okay.
They're not infected.
Yeah, we're just double checking.
Yeah. Nah, they wouldn't be helping you if they were.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Whoa. And plus with the accurate, there's no way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. The Reman shoots the guy on the
What am I even
ground.
looking at?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Minus 3 is 11. Yeah, he's still dead. He shoots him and he vaporizes him. All right. Now it's Lex because there's no more enemies to go.
So, just so I can like have a better understanding of what's happening, can you describe what all this means? Like Starfleet badges 1s, 2s, 0s.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. So 1 is it just takes away 1 damage. 2 it takes away 2 damage. So essentially you're rolling d6. So a 1 and a 2. If it lands on a 1 and a 2, it takes away that amount of damage. A 3 and a 4 do nothing. It's basically just there to waste space. A 5 and a 6 are the effects. An effect is it does 1 point of damage, but it also has an effect. So an effect could be piercing, or no, sorry, piercing basically ignores 1 resistance, or it could be vicious, which is what it's been because everyone has disruptors. And basically what that does is it just adds an additional damage for each effect roll. So that one that has like where is it? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So 4 extra damage on top of the original. So yeah, basically that's what the effects do.
I got it. What about the Starfleet symbols?
That's what the effects is. It's 4 or 5. 4 to 5 is a Starfleet symbol.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
No problem. I'm gonna see what Lex fires and misses. All right, so now it's Karava's turn.
Can I pick up the disruptor rifle and shoot at someone?
I mean, you already have a pistol
Yeah,
in
that
your
would be
hand.
my next idea.
Yeah, but the
that would be my next
rifle did
idea.
better though.
Right, but this guy's like literally 5 feet away.
Just go
You could
to-
literally reach over and punch him if you wanted to. And picking up the rifle would basically add difficulty.
Okay,
There's
I'll
also
just...
the dead Reman though. Doesn't he have a weapon?
Yeah.
Well, he was vaporized. The weapon went with him, and I'm saying it for the sake of me keeping
Oh shit!
track.
That's awesome.
For the sake of me keeping track of inventory, his weapon went with him. If you get vaporized, everything you have goes with you. All right. So are you
Yeah.
firing, Karava?
Yeah, okay. I'll just fire.
All right. Control security. Yep. Difficulty 2. You have 4 momentum if you want.
I will use 1 dice and I will make it free.
All right. Whoa.
There we are.
5 successes. So
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. So you guys are at 6 momentum. If this was a normal game, you'd be at max momentum. So now just roll that damage. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're attacking this guy. That guy's already been damaged. I think he had like 7 damage before. So let's see, 2, 3, 4.
Also, there's
5. I'm just trying to do math, which is horrible. Because he has 3 resistance, though, that puts it down to 3. So yeah, he's got like 1 health left, but he is up. So go ahead. What was you saying?
no, that's it. That's all. Oh, also the vicious.
Yeah, I already took that into account. So
Okay.
it's 5, and then wait, no, 6, 7. So yeah, 4 damage. So yeah, you basically got him, and you got him with a disruptor. So as long as you didn't set it to vaporize, he just falls down dead. And finally, you do see a critter crawler crawl out of his ear, Does anyone want to do anything with it? I'll say this is a free action. If you want to capture it, shoot it, kill it, you can do it. No, you don't need to wait for an initiative order for it.
Well, at the very least, I will announce it to everyone else.
Yeah.
I say we capture it.
Sorry, what was
Capture
that?
it for study. Capture it for study.
If you say that out,
Yeah.
you say that out loud, I highly object to it.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll also order Lex to treat herself and the Riemann,
mhm.
and order engineering guy to do some engineering for the shields. Engineer! Do the engineering!
All right. So
The fight is still occurring.
before,
Okay,
yeah.
I will. My turn.
Oh.
Well, there's still one alive, isn't there?
Well, before
Yeah,
we
there's
get
still one
into the 5 actions that I just heard, let me go ahead and quickly recap for Mac what's happened. So basically, you guys the Romulans came around the corner. Karava was like, "Hey, we're with the Tal Shiar. Take me to your leader." And they're like, "Cool, okay." And then all of a sudden, this stupid medical officer walked around the corner, and these stupid Remans walked around the corner, and everything went to hell. And basically, everyone started shooting at each other. The good news is, the only good guy that's injured is the medical officer, the healer Nari, the out of the 4 Romulan guards that were clearly parasite controlled, only one is dead, lying on the ground, and the other is alive, having just stabbed Shamar in the chest. I rolled for. Yeah, I rolled for Lex, so you basically all Lex did was shoot and miss, so that's fine.
And one of them is in space, presumably dead.
Yeah, transported into space thanks to your Romulan chief engineer.
Yeah,
So basically,
in the episode we pan to his dead corpse.
so that's pretty much all that has happened. All right, so Karava, I heard you tell a couple of people to do something, but keep in mind, even though this isn't D&D, it still has to be doable.
I did forget that the guy was still alive.
Yeah.
Hey, get rid of my old picture. It's so dark I can't stand it. There's a better
All right. It looks like he's just sitting in the corridor with his rifle, like what?
yeah, he's sitting on the ground.
All right. So Karava, what's your order? And you can give them multiple orders.
big
Just
chill.
make sure that your what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, just make sure that it's not all jumbled together so the GM doesn't understand what you're saying. So just make sure you're giving the orders directly to each player that you want the orders to be given to.
Yeah, we'll just wait till the combat ends first, because I don't think they should be doing other stuff. Kill the guy
Okay.
and other stuff later.
So, are you going to fire at him?
Or-
Is Karava going to fire at him?
Oh, well, no, I just killed the other guy.
Oh, okay. Then I will go for him then. All right.
Yeah, it's his turn.
He is going to do what he did earlier and open fire at Shamar. And this time he is gonna hit.
Oh no!
2, 4,
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minus 2 is 8. So you have. What's your stress at?
Let me pull up my character sheet. I think it was 7.
1, 2.
Yep. 7.
All right. So
I
essentially.
did.
Just fill in all that stress and add another injury, which is just disruptor rifle to torso or something like that.
My
Now,
God!
at this point, because you have no more stress, you cannot do any actions that don't involve you trying to recover or being treated by a medical officer, which is going to happen, so don't worry. But
I'm just gonna say, he falls to the ground and just begins to bleed out violently.
that sounds good.
He's fucked.
All
And
right.
isn't this an coagulant as well? So he's bleeding everywhere. Oh God. He's fucked.
All right, so who's next? Obviously, security chief can't go. So Karava just went. So out of Lex, Edgeford, and Kamina, who's going next? Or the medical officer. If you want a medical officer to heal Shamar, they can.
I must just for the Raymond to fire.
Reeman's already. Reeman just standing next to you guys, waiting for orders at this point.
Oh, I might also just for him to fire at the other one.
All right.
He's with the best gun in our side. So.
Yeah, I'm the only one with a weapon besides the
Are we
one
worried
person
about
with
the
a gun.
creature crawling down the hallway?
Yeah, I screamed at that and also before my fucking near death, but
All right, so you guys are up to 8 momentum. He got 4 successes, so he is going to fire his disruptor rifle and vaporizes this guy.
what a fucking mission Shamar gets put on. He keeps on nobody tell him anything. Then we finally dock, nobody fucking does anything. He acts, fucking gets shanked and then shot in the chest.
By his own knife.
Yeah, that's so nice. Oh my god. Yeah,
Alright.
what a fucking
So,
what a
so Vosky picked up the parasite, right? Is that what I heard earlier, or no? Well, I heard someone wanted to save the parasite. I don't remember who it was. I assumed it was Vosky because he's the
Karava-
science guy.
Yeah, Karava expressed a desire to save the parasite. Vosky has not yet acted on that. I mean, he'll obey the order. He thinks it's a bad order, but it's an order, and so he'll obey it.
All right.
I'm more inclined to accidentally beam it into space, but
Well, unless someone is actively trying to kill it, I'm just gonna say Vosky, you have it in a little container on your uniform now.
Fantastic.
I'm also, for the sake of everything holy, I'm gonna say you walk 10 feet down the corridor, grab all your weapons, and now you have all your stuff back. You also need. I'm assuming you want someone to heal Shamar and your other medical officer. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
start with the medical officer.
Well, here's the good thing about Star Trek Adventures. As soon as the scene change, everybody's stress goes back to normal. So scene change, everyone's at full health again. So this is
I'm giving that Riemann a battlefield promotion as well.
so
what?
before we do
He's
anything
a
else,
non-enlisted. He's basically a slave. Like
well,
what?
we
So
need
stress is
to
at 0?
raise some force fields around this section of the ship so we don't get attacked
All right.
again.
Like I said before, if
Said
5
stress
people are
is at
talking to
0?
me, I can't hear anybody. So Karava, what?
Yeah.
You said something about a battlefield promotion. So I was being kind of facetious when I said he's a slave. A bodyguard is basically the equivalent of a non-enlisted person or an enlisted person. So do you want to promote him to like a Ulan, to like an ensign essentially, an officer, or do you just want to give him like basically a crewman status? So basically he's like a higher ranking enlisted person on the ship. What do you want?
What's an ensign?
The Ulan. Basically those guards that were trying to kill you, they were Ulans, aka ensigns.
Are they officers?
Yes, the ensigns are officers.
I'm promoting him. I'm giving him a battlefield promotion to officer. He's a new one now.
All right. So, because you are the ranking person on the ship, that does count until a new ranking officer appears on the ship and potentially takes that away. But for right now, for the sake of argument, he's an ensign. All right. Shamar, what were you gonna say?
I'll just ask a technical question. You said stress 0.
Stress is back to normal now. So 0.
What does that mean?
So all those stress that you
Full?
filled out, yeah, you're at full health. Everyone's at full health. When the scene changes, it's assumed, as long as you're not dead when the scene ends,
Yeah.
it is assumed that everyone gets healed, and that's kind of how Star Trek is.
Cool.
They don't kill off main characters unless they do it for a reason. So
Yep, like,
I'm assuming the injuries remain though.
your injuries are, I don't think they remain. I mean, again, scene change assumes medical officers has taken care of everything. And
that's kind of sad. I was hoping I had lasting consequences.
well, you could totally have scars or like a limp or whatever the case may be as part of your character,
say-
but it's not going to increase the difficulty
say maybe
because
he
that
has-
would be kind of shitty.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'll just say he has like walks with a little limp, and he's probably just a little like fucked up, like PTSD.
Oh yeah, I imagine so. So yeah, that basically like from a
Maybe
role
just a
playing
little quiet.
from a role playing perspective, you know, Shamar and Nari are kind of like they're not up to 100%, but mechanically they are. So let's see. Next person, Vosky. You, like I said before, you have the thing in the container. Is there anything other that you want to do with it specifically, or are you just keeping it in a container? It is alive at this point since it has escaped.
Yeah. Yep. So what Vosky's going to do, especially since he doesn't have a lab that he's currently standing in, is just take a little bit of extra time to reinforce and double, triple, quadruple check every little piece of wall, every little piece of seal, this thing is not getting out.
Yeah.
So he'll spend a little bit of time really making sure of that.
Also, I'll just say, like, if we're taking a little time here, I'll just say, like, we need to find, like, a defensible position. That was a bunch of disruptor shots. We needed, we got to get somewhere.
I'll suggest to the chief engineer to start doing the shield thing.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was
we
about
can
to
start-
say. I was gonna go to Chief Engineer Kamina. You said you wanted to do the force field thing, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try to make it look like a medical quarantine's come into effect,
Ooh,
which seals
okay.
off every section of the ship.
All right. Do you want to be anywhere specific before you do that? Because you will potentially be trapping
Yeah.
yourselves in a location.
Well, we can lift. I have access to lift the
Oh,
force
okay.
field.
So basically, you just walk
And so
to a
Lex
corridor, hit a
and
button.
command the colonel.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and do a control engineering. Difficulty is 4. I'm gonna increase the complication range to 4.
I'm going to spend a threat to get an extra die.
All right. Spend
And
a
I
threat
have
or
a focus in force fields.
spend a momentum or give me a threat.
Well, I'll give you a threat because I'm a bold engineer,
Okay.
and then I'll spend 2 momentum because we
Alright.
have 8, right?
Yes, you do.
I'll also ask the Reman, how many Reman are left on board the ship?
There's only one other, although he is on the bridge guarding the Starfleet officer in charge.
I'll re-roll that 0.
Okay.
Who was
Oh.
that?
I'll also inform him what's been happening about the bugs, about the mind parasites and all that.
All right, let's do Kamina's roll before we get to that. Just remind me because I'll probably forget. 2, 4, 6, 7. So 7, and the difficulty was 4. So that puts you up to max momentum plus a bonus momentum. I tell you what, if you want to spend that bonus momentum, I'll say that all you have to do is walk, and the force fields are behind you and in front of you, and you don't have to worry about anyone just showing up and shooting at you. If that's what you want to use that bonus momentum for.
Perfect. I will use that bonus momentum for that.
All right. So, Caravo, what were you saying about someone in charge?
Oh no, I'll just get the Reman up to speed about what's happening. With
Oh, okay.
with the
So
mind parasites
basically, once you tell the Riemann, people are controlled by parasites, because as far as you know, he had no freaking clue. And he says he's not sure about the other Riemann, but the one that just died in front of him also had no clue, because their last orders were to just walk, patrol the corridors. Basically, let's see, him and medical officer Drusilla says that the parasite-controlled Romulans secretly captured the commanding officer, Captain Kulira. Then the Dreadnought arrived and immobilized the Dicarius with its subspace weapon, before taking Captain Kulira and then repairing the subspace radiation field so that the parasite-controlled Romulans could take over the Dicarius. However, the normal Romulans, Remans, and Starfleet officers are not aware that parasites are even involved. After discovering the treachery, Drusilla used a computer virus to disable sensors and warp, allowing only bridge crew to be able to take control of systems, hence you doing that. Minus Kulira and Drenal, because Drenal is a traitor and Kulira is missing. So that kind of brings you up to speed as to what happened to the Dicarius after it was signaled away on that distress call mission thingy.
I'm gonna suggest to the engineer, the Narina. I'm gonna suggest to her to can we teleport people who are on the bridge and say on the direction towards the bridge into the brig so we can take control of the ship and get
Well,
a
right
capital
now,
search.
everywhere on the ship is a brig.
Yeah. Also,
but
Yeah, can we?
But
can we
I would
site
defer
site
that to
transport?
Colonel Lex. He is far more expert in transporter technology than I am.
Also, your sensors are not rigged to detect the neuroparasites at the moment, so you'd have to do that first, or you'd end up beaming your own people around.
Can we do that with a tricorder?
What, like walk up
Is
to
that what you're
someone and
talking about?
scan them, or?
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I mean,
essentially. Or like see them from a distance. I mean, you could see them for like several meters.
what I mean is we should do that now so we can take control of the ship so we can get it back. Then we can start sifting out who has the parasites and who doesn't.
All right, and keep in mind you still have that Romulan warbird bearing down on you in a few hours. So,
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, we want to get out of here as quickly as possible. So
All right,
You
so
can avoid Romulan warbird.
all right, so the number one thing you got to do is make sure you reconfigure your sensors to be able to detect the neural parasite. So that's going to be a control engineering difficulty 3. And the complication range is increased to 3 as well, because I think it'd be cool if you accidentally beamed your own people into space or something.
Is this this would be experimental
so-
technology, I assume?
What I was
No.
earlier, would it be possible to like modify a tricorder to detect someone with a neuroparasite?
I mean, you don't have to roll to do that. I think that's at this point in the game. You know, you guys have been doing this for a while. You guys probably would have done that already. But the main thing regarding the transporters, so if Colonel Lex is going to be the main person handling the transporters, I recommend, unless someone has like a focus of like repair or jury rigging transporters or something that's more specific to this. And then Sub Commander Kamina, you could assist. Again, unless you had a focus or a talent that would be better for basically altering sensors and transporters, which I don't think you do.
Right, I can jury rig things, but I don't want to do that because that what makes
Right.
it happen for one scene.
If I may. Oh no, you please first, Mac.
If I'm gonna be the main role, I got a talent called Transporter Chief, and it adds 2 threat to you, but reduces the difficulty by 2.
Oh, nice. And I said what, difficulty 3? So
Yeah.
difficulty 1. Complication range is still 4. All right, and then yep, go ahead.
If I'd like to volunteer to assist. So obviously with control engineering, but I would ask if I'm able to, since Vosky's been the one doing the scanning for life signs before, to activate the testing a theory in theory into practice. Since this is again identifying the appropriate kind of life sign, it's just more specific. And I don't know if I can activate talents on an assist, but if I can,
as long as it doesn't say that you can't, because some talents say, you know, if you're doing this task, but if it just says you can do this once per game or you can do this whenever you want, then yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'll double check that very quickly. It shouldn't take long.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and make that initial roll, Lex, and Kamina, if you want to assist. The ship cannot assist at this point in time. Well, actually, yes, the ship can assist because you made it specifically so that it basically does whatever you want it to do. So let me roll for the ship, and that's going to be sensors and engineering, which is not great. Ooh.
I think I can re-roll that. I think we can re-roll that because I have technical expertise.
All right, I will go ahead and do that. Oh, look at that. That's a lot better. All right, so what do we have so far? 2, 3, 4. All right, Vosky, you wanted to assist or no?
Yes, I will. I'm just very quickly checking the wording of that particular talent. Hang on.
All right, so you have 1 bonus momentum.
Security. Science, here we go. Testing theory. So it's when you attempt a task. I don't know if an assist counts as a task.
I'm going to say yeah because it doesn't say that you have to be the main person on the task, so yeah.
Okay, in that case, we get an extra dice and the difficulty goes down by 1.
All right, Lex, go ahead and make an roll 1 dice, and the difficulty is 0. So you have 2 bonus momentum.
For Nub again, can you recap what all this jargon means to me?
Okay, so starting at the top, Colonel Lex being the main role, rolled 2 dice. And
No, not the rolls, just like what's happening in game.
So basically, Colonel Lex, with the assistance of those other characters, are trying to make the sensors on the ship able to detect neural parasites instead of just Romulans and Starfleet officers. So basically, with you guys have 4 bonus momentum. So basically, you now have. I'm not even going to make you roll to detect with the sensors. Like, you have a screen in front of you that tells you where all the neural parasites are, essentially. But what do you want to do with that 4 bonus momentum? I'm assuming some kind of obtain information would be in order, or maybe
I've
create
got
advantage.
one which will impact on the ethical question about whether we vent them all into space or whether we take them alive.
I will tell you
So-
that venting them into space is impossible since they're mixed up.
Well, transporting them into space one by
Okay.
one once we've got a lock on them
Mhm.
I didn't want to vent all of them into space.
Hold on,
Can I?
hold on. Everyone's trying to talk again. Let Vosky finish and then ask your question.
Yeah. So this will impact on the ethical question, which is we have previously identified biochemical markers that mean that somebody may be able to survive the extraction.
Right.
From this scan, can we tell if some of the people might have that biochemical marker, in which case we may want to take them alive and rescue them instead of kill them?
Only one of them, Lieutenant Commander on the bridge, the Starfleet officer in charge.
Vosky will point that out to the team and say the rest of them we can't save, but that one we might be able to save. Put that one in the brig rather than space, something like that.
All right, you have 3 bonus momentum.
So, to be clear, he is infected but can be saved.
Well,
Or it's
okay.
not infected at all.
Let me, because I don't think you were here for that episode, but let me describe what this biochemical thing does.
This is a lot of stuff that I
So,
wasn't here for.
so everyone knows how the neuroparasites, once they get in you, it's pretty much impossible to get them out. What the chemical does is it allows the neuroparasite to say, hey, I want to get out of this body, but you can keep your body and your brain and everything normal. I'm just going to leave. But there's a 50-50 chance that doesn't work. So it's basically, luck of the draw.
Okay.
This chemical does not actively push the parasite out. It has to be a decision by the parasite to save the host.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we may not be able to save them, but at least this one it's possible. So,
Yep.
He's
Vosky
a
points that out.
Starfleet officer. He's a Starfleet officer, so Shamar's always he's way behind it.
So
No,
Karaba, what were you saying?
I didn't want to put them in the space. I just wanted to put, I wanted to put as many of them in the brig as possible, particularly the ones who it would be in our pathway to the bridge, and
Right.
then we can fly back to Federation space and deal with them accordingly. See if we
Okay.
can just maybe inject them with that chemical, and see if we can just sort of force the parasites out or something.
All right. So
I'll
do you
say that
go ahead?
character just kind of panting still is still a little kind of fucked up and dazed, but do you think maybe we should contact the Romulan warbird or try to make indication before we go onto this bridge plan? Or...
Hold on to that because unfortunately, most of this stuff is taking place in the span of 3 seconds, so that will come up. But we still have. The thing about Star Trek Adventures is combat doesn't take forever. The actual role playing and story development does. So, you have 3 bonus momentum. You have 3 questions or 3 things that you can do with those 3 bonus momentum. And Mac, you wanted to say something?
Lex says, if I was at if our transporters actually holds the DNA samples to people before parasites were actually infected in them.
Oh.
They?
So if I remember correctly, wasn't I feel like they would have done that in the show if that was a thing that they could do. So I'm gonna say it's possible, but complication range and difficulty is all the way up, and you cannot have a human assist. You can have a ship assist if you have a transporter, but a human assist you cannot, or a player assist is not viable. So with 2 rolls and 2 rolls only, you have to get 5, and you cannot get a single complication. So
he says,
go ahead.
The
I
only way
imagine
I could, because the only way I could literally do it is at the transporter station, but it's gonna be really difficult to do. So I highly suggest the alternative and just put them in the brig. We'll
All right.
deal with them later.
Cool. But we still have 3 bonus. Do you guys just want to move on and get rid of the 3 bonus momentum? Because no one's really asking any questions or trying to create any advantages or anything like that. People are just continuing, which is fine.
Yeah. Hold on.
How many
hold on.
how many
That's a
people?
very fair point. Can we recap?
How many people between us and the bridge?
Well, there's 50 people total give or take the ones that were already killed. They're spread out throughout the entire ship at normal duty stations. So if you had to guess, it'd probably be somewhere between a dozen and 2 dozen. But they're moving. They're always moving. So it's not like, on the bridge there's always 5 people there, but then everyone else is just moving around. So there's really no way.
Can we? I'm just thinking about how to use the momentum. Can we, using some of those momentum, create a link between one of the displays from our tricorders and the ship sensors? So the ship is constantly scanning and it's giving us an updating feed to our tricorders, and then we can navigate around people using that.
Okay, so that
Also remember that they aren't really moving around that much anymore. Every area is isolated by force fields.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah, forgot about that.
Can we speak freely at this point? Can we speak freely?
Yeah, but let me just say this first. So I'm reducing the bonus momentum to 1 because that is technically a create an advantage, which costs 2 minute momentum. So go ahead, Shamar.
I just think we need to talk about this in character for a second, because I don't think we were have a clear goal. What is the reason for going to the bridge? In my mind, I don't. How does that help us? Because we still have the
It's to retake control of the ship so we can send it back to Federation space or Romulan space.
Do you want me to kind of give you a layout of your directives? You know what I mean? Just a.
No. I just want to figure out a plan here.
Well, that's.
If we take control of the bridge, I imagine people would just come to the bridge.
That's why everything's force fielded.
Yeah, I think. I mean. I think.
Yeah, I guess we'll go with this.
A lot of.
I would that we have complete control of the ship from here.
Yeah, and the. Go ahead.
It's not ideal standing in this corridor, but.
Which is why I'm giving myself two threat every couple minutes. You guys keep talking. Go ahead, Mac.
Yeah, let's just go. Let's go. Go to the bridge. I Modern Warfare 2 style, draw the phaser and the knife, tack knife style.
Mac,
I was only going to ask you. I was going to only ask you if do we know where the captain was transported and what ship?
The Dreadnought.
Yeah. Do we know what?
I mean, you don't have
about the ship.
See, you don't have all the information about the Dreadnought because its weapon basically dissolves sensor data and stuff. So all you know is what Drusilla told you, is that it was a scale 8 Romulan Dreadnought.
Okay. Cool.
I was gonna say, so we can fly the ship back from the corridor.
We can go.
I mean, that's a bit much because it's a massive ship. To operate it efficiently, you would still need to go to either the bridge, engineering, or the auxiliary control. But you have control of sensors, control of the computer core, basically any stationary equipment you have control of. You just can't do anything overly important with the ship. Fire weapons, you can't do any of that stuff. But as far as information gathering and setting up force fields and all of that stuff, you're fine where you are. The question is you can't stay where you are. So where are you going?
Which I was to say, is the bridge the quickest one, or is engineering or auxiliary? Which one's closest?
You're in the middle of the ship. They're all in the same, relatively the same distance.
Equidistant.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is decide where you're going.
To the bridge. I cleared the way to the bridge, so we might as well go to the bridge.
Yep.
Yeah, let's
go.
To the bridge.
All right.
Go.
So
we're getting more and more threat. Let's go.
So I'm getting rid of that last bonus momentum because I don't see it doing really anything for you. You guys are heading towards the bridge. The Riemann guard, I'm assuming, is with you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He's with us.
All right. As well as the 2 medical NPCs, I'm assuming, are still with you, unless you specifically want Drusilla to go somewhere.
Nope. She's coming with us.
All right.
We're bringing everybody with us.
Cool. You head towards the bridge, and go ahead.
I'm going to suggest as well for the medical personnel to take the phaser rifles that would have fallen on the ground. If they're not already armed, they get extra guns.
Okay. All right, so you're heading to the bridge. You encounter a few Romulans patrolling the corridors, but for the sake of brevity, you're able to just dip behind a wall and they bypass you without noticing you. You get to the bridge. Who's doing what? Where are you going? Assuming that where Nari is where the bridge door is down that little corridor. Place yourselves where you would like to and just tell me what you're.
Like in front, even though I'm a little wounded.
And mechanically, you're fine though.
Yeah, exactly.
Skill be.
So, it feels weird. I'm like,
We just ripped your shirt a little bit and gave you some medical gel.
Yeah, I took that part of my uniform I ripped off. I just put it on like Last of Us 2 style, and it's fine. The Last of Us will on. It's perfect. It's fine. Earlier, I imagine like the lore reason for the transporter thing is like it's hard to beam the other thing at it at the same time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So we've already beamed all of the symbiote creatures into the brig, right? I'm just not clear on whether we did that or not.
You've
Yeah,
detected
we gotta
them,
like.
but you haven't beamed anybody anywhere because everyone was kept giving ideas, but no one said
we
they
gotta
wanted
be
to
more
do anything.
direct in like talking in character and what we're
Yeah.
actually doing. I'm getting a little confused.
Everything's shielded. So we don't necessarily need to do that yet.
Yeah, if you put up force
Let's
fields,
say-
then the beaming becomes superfluous and vice versa. So I assume since you put up force fields, you didn't care for beaming.
I'm gonna say though, before we get to the bridge, I'm gonna say maybe we should beam the bridge people to the brig so we don't have to fight them.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fucking why
That's
not?
where my
If we can
question
do
was
that,
going.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That is just
Kinda Lex
combat
does it.
encounter.
Kind of Lex
Okay,
does
cool.
it.
All right.
But I will say, wounded Shamar will say, keep the Starfleet guy, the guy that we might be able to save.
All right. So control engineering difficulty 2. Ship will
But beam
assist.
them into the brig. Don't beam them into space.
Yeah, brig.
Yeah.
Immediately to the brig.
I
Beam
assume
them
brick.
nowhere else.
I assume the brig.
Not unnecessarily killing people.
It's such a power move. Like, why would you not?
I'm gonna be using transporter chief again
All right.
to reduce the difficulty down to 0.
Right on.
Ooh, the ship gave you a 2, so as long as you get 1, then you're good. Oh, nice. Do you want to
And I'm
spend
gonna-
momentum?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it.
All right. So, just taking notes real quick. Momentum is still, I believe, at 8. Yep, because you had bonus momentum. And
Ba-
alright.
Basically, Colonel Lex is putting everyone in the brig.
All right. So you
But not the Starfleet guy. Not the Starfleet guy.
so you want.
Including the Starfleet guy.
Yeah, that's sensible.
All right. So
Everyone in the brig.
So every parasite controlled person in the brig. Is that what I'm hearing? Just so we're clear.
Yes.
Okay.
I vote no against that.
Every-
Why? We can take one person who's surrounded by fields. Why not?
No.
And we have 2
Everybody
medical
bring-
officers.
Basically,
Everybody
okay.
infected into the brig.
everyone infected in the brig. That was my orders.
All right.
I concur. That was your orders, and I reinforce those orders as
All right.
if
So
need be.
the force field on the outside of the bridge, I'm assuming, is deactivated, and you guys move in. Is that the case?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You enter.
And he did transport everyone.
You transported everyone with a parasite. So you enter, and you find a bunch of confused Starfleet and Romulan officers looking around and drawing weapons on you because they have no idea why their captain was beamed off the bridge, or their commanding officer was beamed off the bridge.
I'll just wait, but I'll just
Wait, what?
explain. I'll just say. I'll point to Edgeford's belt. Those officers have been infected by with a mind parasite. A bunch of people on the ship's been infected with a mind parasite. But also, a enemy warship is bearing down on us, so we may need to get out of.
th- one of the we'll say this petty officer here looks over to you guys and says, I don't understand, sir. What is going on? What do you mean? We dealt with the dreadnought. It came and it left and took our captain. We're just trying to get the ship under control.
We're having it under control, but there's people who are infected with a dangerous, a dangerous parasite that takes control over them. And I'll play it again. I'll show them Edgeford's belt with the little creature, and and I'll show them. Anyone that has a weird thing on the back of their neck has been taken over. I'm surprised they didn't take over more people though. It's very interesting.
Well, I'll just kind of also reassure him we've scanned the vessel. We know exactly who and what. So the reason you are here is because you are safe. So feel.
And they can look at the scan and see they have parasites. So they're not super. They are Romulans, but they're not that paranoid.
Okay. And I will suggest for that. I'll suggest to make sure so we can get control over the ship to fly it, and I'll get Mac's character, whose name I forgot.
Colonel Lex.
Colonel Lex. I'll have her, do what is necessary to get the ship flying and back into Romulan or Federation space.
All right, so that brings us to the timed challenge of repairing and restoring the ship to its natural former glory, essentially. And also before we get to that, I do want to remind you guys that you are on that you did have another order / directive, which was to investigate Outpost Dinar 1. Are you ignoring that and heading back to the starbase, or are you going to proceed to that?
I recommend we should probably secure the ship and then.
Well, yeah, I'm saying after that
Romulans
because
are
I know you're not gonna go somewhere without repairing the ship. I got that, but after you have all of that taken care of, after you've dealt with the Romulan warbird that's about to show up, are you heading back into Federation space / Romulan space, or are you heading to Dinar 1, which is closer to Klingon space? Two completely opposite directions. That's why I'm asking.
Is the ship dangerously understaffed?
Oh yeah, heavily understaffed.
Okay, I might be better if we just return. What was the purpose of going to that space station first off?
Because that's the distress call that this ship originally got, which was going to investigate.
Oh, I'd say most probably it was potentially a trap, and we would not probably be able to handle it under our current conditions. So I'd say we should return back to the starbase to sort of get more people, and then maybe go back and investigate it potentially, or do.
I think there's maybe a situation where we want to come in loaded for bear as well, like a starship as opposed to.
Yeah.
All right.
I highly suggest we contact the Romulan bird as well. That's bearing down on us.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Well.
What is our plan in contacting them? Are we like?
I mean, you're free to do that. There's nobody saying not to do that.
I'm just asking the party. We gotta talk.
Yeah,
basically,
we
Colonel Lex has actually been standing there near at the operations terminal and turning on turning on the ships gradually, but not so fast that we end up blowing up the engines.
Okay, so for the sake, like I said before, for the sake of brevity, I'm gonna say that actually, no, I can't do that. So we're gonna enter the time challenge. Rolling each task is gonna take 2 intervals of time. So basically, an interval of time. Where is it? Oh, I wrote it on the other thing, the other page. One task is basically going to equal 10 minutes, and you have to do it in an hour before the Aksuha, or whatever it's called, gets here. Or, you can just contact it and hail them and see what's up. As far as you guys know, as player characters or as characters, the only reason... There's 2 things that it could be. The Romulan ship could just be coming to investigate why another ship is adrift in space, or it could be a parasite-controlled ship that's coming to destroy you. You have no idea. So you can contact it, or you can get your ship fully operational in the time allotted and then deal with it when it arrives. It's up to you guys how you want to do that. But essentially,
I
go ahead.
I highly suggest.
I
I
I
highly
believe we should contact them, but what is the nature of our call to them? Do we say like everything's under control? Do we ask for assistance? Like what are we saying?
let's find out why they're coming towards us first.
Yeah, obviously.
Vosky will make a brief comment along the lines of, it may be best if we have all of our options available to us and have the ship in as good a state of readiness as is possible before communicating with them. If we're vulnerable
Yes.
when we talk to them, then and we give the wrong signals, we may only accelerate our destruction. So let's
I'm
hold
going to
off.
suggest that as well.
I completely concur.
All right, Karava. So
Why do you
what
think I
what are
want
your orders? Do you want to contact them now or wait until the ship is repaired or not repaired because it's not really that damaged? More like restored to its former glory, essentially.
Restoring the ship, then contacting the Romulans who are coming.
Okay. So
That's going to take a while, Commodore.
it's gonna
Colonel?
take. Look, it's gonna take as long as it takes, you guys. You can spend as much momentum as you want to get it done sooner. It's just how much you give a shit about getting it done sooner that causes it to take sooner. If you don't care and if you just roll normal rolls like people are prone to do, then it will take. It might not even get it done in time. So my goal to you is with
Use
all of
momentum,
this
Colonel
extra
Rex.
all of this extra momentum that you've been accumulating and all this bonus momentum that you guys are prone to accumulating, using that to reduce the time spent. So let me finish the time challenge, kind of what I don't know what they call it. But so rolling each task, so every time you roll the dice is going to take 2 intervals of time, and you only have 2 intervals. I'm sorry, you only have 6 total intervals to do it. So, but there are ways to reduce the time spent. Players can spend 1 momentum on a successful task to reduce the time spent on that task to 1, but it is not repeatable. So let's say you roll a task, you succeed. That would take 2 intervals of time. You can spend a momentum and reduce it to 1, so that gives you 5 intervals left instead of 4. Complications will add 1 interval to the attempted task, reducing the amount of time by 1. So that basically does the opposite of what I just said. The player characters have 6 intervals before the hold on, let me look at it again. The Axua, you know what, let me just get rid of that H. Damn randomizer. The Axua arrives. To investigate why the Dicarius is suddenly dead in space. Alright, so the first thing you have to do is design an algorithm to eradicate Drusilla's original virus in order to restore the warp singularity core, because although you have control of the ship, you still can't go to warp because of what she did to the ship. You have to roll insight or control engineering. The difficulty is 3 with a complication range of 3. So because it's an engineering roll, I'm assuming either Lex or Kamina is going to roll for this. This is something related to computers, so whoever is better at computers is the person I recommend. Kamina or Lex?
I do have a focus in it, but it depends on the engineer. He's got a better engineering score.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm better at engineering, but I don't have a focus. I'm good at insight and control, but my focuses are more in like actually working on the warp core.
Yeah, what are your
Would
combined
espionage
totals?
Sorry. Go ahead, Edgeford. What was that?
What are the 2 potential primaries combined totals of either their control engineering or insight engineering?
Mine is 17.
Which is pretty high.
Yep.
With no focus, though.
Right. But the focus,
What,
thankfully,
Matt?
does work still on the assisted dice or assisted roll.
Okay.
So I would actually allow you to use the warp field dynamics, because you are, even though you're working on the computer, you still have to eradicate or deal with this virus that has been put in the computer, which has then in turn shut down the warp core. So I would allow you to use warp field dynamics because it is kind of peripherally related. So if
okay, then I have a total of 17 and a focus.
Okay, and then Colonel
Yeah,
Lex, if
okay.
you want to assist. Make sure
I'm
you
gonna
change
use
your
it as-
complication range to 3. Don't forget.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna have a backup plan in case of it's a talent, just in case.
What does that do?
It just may you if we fail at a task, we can actually re-roll.
Oh, nice. That's a good
Yeah.
good talent. All right. Are y'all ready?
what did you say the difficulty was?
Difficulty 3, complication range 3. You have full momentum. Ooh.
Get a momentum.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend use a threat to buy one of the dice, and then momentum to buy the other 2.
Okay.
And let's hope mine goes better than Colonel Lex.
Nice.
I will re-roll one of those complications because of bold engineering.
All right.
Why did it roll? Oh, I pushed the wrong button.
All right. So you have 2,
And
3,
I'll buy off
4,
the
and
other
5.
the other complication.
All right. So you're down to 4 momentum. You have 5 successes, which puts you up to 6 momentum. Lex, do you want to buy off that complication with 2 momentum?
Yes, please.
So you're back down to 4 momentum. So
And then let's spend 1 to reduce the time that took.
Okay. Does anyone have any objections to that?
Nope, good plan.
All right. So you got 3 momentum, and you have successfully taken care of of Drusilla's virus, and essentially got the warp core and the sensors and the computer back to stock factory settings, so to speak, for a scientific prototype exploration intelligence cruiser, whatever stock means for that. And now all you need to do is locate and wipe infected files that are not related to. So basically, these are infected files that would have been affected by the initial subspace weapon used by the Dreadnought. That's going to be a reason or control engineering, difficulty 2. This one you may succeed at cost. So let's say you fail. I would just take some threat and you would still succeed. But it's probably still good that you actually succeed. So engineering people, difficulty 2, reason or control to locate and wipe these corrupted files.
I'll spend 1 threat to increase my range to 3. Because this is like correcting the subspace damage thing, is my quantum mechanics focus maybe gonna work?
Yeah, sure, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. 2, 4, 6. Let me roll for the ship.
Lucky I'm getting you to actually do the main roll.
All right, so 7 successes. So the difficulty was 2, so that's 5 plus 3. You're back up to 8 momentum.
Let's spend a momentum to make that take 1 interval instead of 2.
Okay.
If everyone's okay with that.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
So now all that is needed to do is to reboot the warp core safely, as Lex mentioned earlier. This is going to be a control engineering. Normally the difficulty is 2. I am going to spend a threat to increase it to 3. And I'm going to spend some threat to increase the complication range to 3 as well. However, like I said before, this is a succeed at cost. So in the end, you're going to get the warp core back online so you can fly away or do whatever you want. But there may be some added complications to that, depending on what happens. So Whoever wants to make their main roll, control engineering difficulty 3. I'll roll for the ship.
Okay, I guess I will probably do this.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you have the warp field
You just-
dynamics.
Difficulty 3, I'm going to say we're in a crisis. So in a crisis, we use what's on hand, and I'm going to spend a determination.
Ooh, nice. I'll go ahead and do that. So you're automatically to 2 plus the 2 assists, so you're already up to 4.
And I'll spend 1 threat so I can re-roll one of these dice if I need to.
Okay.
And this is warp field dynamics, I imagine.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice. So you're at 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's.
And then veteran lets me do something because I used my determination. I just always forget to do it.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and do that. I think. Oh shit! I just heard it the other day and I already forgot it.
And draws character spends 1 point of determination and an effect. Okay, so I roll 1 challenge die, and if I get an effect, I get it back.
Okay.
So give me a moment here. 1 enter.
Nope. All right. So, good news is you have 3 bonus momentum. You have your ship back into normal condition under the control of, as of right now, the ship assumes that Karava is the commanding officer since the other 2 are missing. And you have 3 bonus momentum. Is there anything that you want to use that bonus momentum for? You have 3 intervals remaining.
Is it possible to know from our repaired sensors or our functioning sensors if we could detect any of the parasites on the incoming ship, or is it too far away?
Since it's only about 30 minutes out, I will say that you do not detect any with your sensor. So, yeah, essentially to answer your question, yes, you are able to successfully determine there are no parasites on that ship. However, that doesn't necessarily mean they're here to, have a birthday party.
So what I'll say to Karava is, Colonel, there are no parasites on the ship. However, there's no guarantee that they aren't Imperial loyalists.
Should we make contact with them then?
Yes.
Do we have any other questions first with the bonus momentum?
Yep. And I will also remind you that they are still continuously trying to hail you.
Oh. Yeah. We'll accept the hails.
And Lex is mentioning it to you that it's popping up on his screen, and it's like they're hailing us.
So 2 more bonus momentum. Can y'all think of anything that you want to use them for?
Is it approaching under cloak? Well, since it's on our sensors, I'm guessing it's not approaching under
It is
cloak.
not
Or is it
cloaked.
the case?
Its
Yeah.
weapons are charged and its shields are up.
No.
Can we?
Okay,
Can
so sorry, I just got back. Can you recap for me?
I don't know when you left.
He does, Mac.
I was gonna ask, do we know the name of the ship? And
I literally
so-
repeated it like 1,700 times, and I mispronounced it every single time. So yes, you do.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Can I bring up who the captain is of the ship?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes, you
suggest
can.
that.
It's going to be a
And
Tal Shiar general named Sonora.
What's a Tashiar general named Sonora? If you wanted to know.
Would I know her loyalties? Would I know if she is a traditionalist or a moderate?
You could spend the bonus momentum for it.
Yeah, I'll do that, I guess, if nobody else minds.
Yeah, we've got a couple.
She is moderate, but she was one of the Romulan Tal Shiar officers, one of the old guard who did regret becoming a republic. She wanted it to kind of continue as an imperialistic force. However, once the full effect took over, she was fine with just remaining as a normal, loyal Tal Shiar officer to the republic.
And can we use the other bonus momentum to determine if this person is actually still alive?
You no longer have any more bonus momentum.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
All right. Not using bonus momentum, but using conventional task rolls.
Mhm.
Since we now have full operative sensors, permission for Vosky to do a detailed sensor sweep looking for cloaked vessels. Because what he's thinking is if this is a trap, it might be a case of here's the one ship you're supposed to see, but then there are the 2 or 3 that you're
Would
not.
I do something like that? Yes, I would.
Please.
All right, yeah, go ahead. That's going to be a reason science difficulty 4.
Fantastic, and I will activate,
Make
due to the previous successful sensor work, testing a theory and theory into practice to get an automatic bonus dice and reduce the difficulty, so it comes difficulty 3.
Okay.
I'm then also going to... How much? We're at full momentum, aren't we? What are we
Yes, you are.
Okay, since that's potentially life-saving information, I'll spend 2 momentum to take it up to a dice pool of 4, and here we go.
Also, yeah, complication range is still 1, so that's fine. No, wow.
All right.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, and what was the difficulty? Reduced to 3, right?
Yes.
All right, so plus 2, so you're back up to 8 momentum. You do not detect any other vessels. That is the closest vessel, cloaked or otherwise.
Excellent. Vosky will say that it looks like that it appears to me that this ship is genuinely alone and is not part of a hidden hunting group that might suggest nefarious intent.
Okay, we might as well accept their hails now.
I'll also say as
He
well.
brings-
I'll also say to Colonel Lex. Also, compile a message. Get ready to send it to the Romulan Republic, saying that we have recovered the ship. Just to make sure to keep the general honest, just in case.
Yeah, we do that. He does that and answers the hail as well.
Yep.
Brings it up on the screen.
Hold on. Can I get a quick recap of what happened?
They fixed the ship, and now they're about to answer a hail. That's the gist of it.
Cool.
And
we did it in style.
Republic.
All right, Karava, what are your orders?
Yeah. Send the message to the Romulan Republic about. Or already said that. Send the message to the Romulan Republic about us fixing the ship, and then accept the hail from the general.
Yeah, he does that, and he answers the hail.
All right, I'm just gonna say that's a combined roll because it's communications. Difficulty 1, control engineering. Difficulty 1. I'll roll for the ship. Oh God, I rolled the wrong fucking thing again.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so 2, 3. So you got 2 bonus momentum. Now we get to take 45 minutes to decide what to do with them. Yeah, you open the channel and the face of a woman appears on the. You have sent the message to the Romulan Republic. I mean, you're out near Klingon space, so it'll take a while for it to get there. But where is the picture I'm looking for? Oh yeah, everything's out of order, so it's probably further down.
Greetings, General. We have secured the ship from the Parasite Menace, and we also have sent a message to the Republic, ensuring them of the knowledge of all of this as well. Of this, sir.
She just looks at you all like you're insane, and she says, "What is the meaning of this? Why is your ship just now coming online after it's been adrift in space for the better part of a day or so?"
It had been taken over by a alien parasite that had infected parts of the crew, General.
Likely story.
Can I just point to the freaking thing on his chest, the actual live sample we have?
I'll send the information about the parasites, and I'll also say I'll send you the full report, and I've also sent a report to High Command.
He sends it over. Lex sends it over so she can see.
Alright, so normal presence command, difficulty 3, but it's reduced to difficulty 2 because you actually sent proof. Actually, no. It's normally difficulty 2. It was going to be difficulty 3 if you were lying. So difficulty 1. So reduced to difficulty 1. Presence and command, Karava. And Lex, you can assist since you sent the message.
I'm also going to suspend the momentum because I don't want to cheese off this general, and the focus is diplomacy.
Yeah, well, that works.
Ah, there we go. That's good.
All right, so you have one additional momentum. Actually, so I'm gonna say you used a bonus momentum since you didn't use them yet, and then you got another bonus momentum. So you're back up to 2 bonus momentum. In fact, if you want to use the bonus momentum to ask her any questions that she would not normally give to a measly colonel in the Tal Shiar, then you may. But she does tell you, as she looks at her console to see the information and looks back to you, and she says, I see. And are you in charge of the Dicarius, Mrs. Caraba?
Yes, currently I am.
Very well.
We have been ordered to return back to Starbase. We were planning to return to Starbase 1 because our ship is currently understaffed.
Which starbase was that again? She says as she looks at her console to verify the information that you just gave her.
That's a Federation starbase, and I'll give her the location.
She says, "Oh, Starbase 123. You do know that there are closer starbases, though, right? That you could go and make if you're actually looking to get a reassignment for some crew. Starbase actually no, that's roughly the." So as she says that, you're like, wait, no, it's not. You realize that she's trying to deceive you. She says that you could go to Starbase 117, or the Romulan Starbase.
We would, but unfortunately, most of the research we want to return to about 123 because the research we have conducted on the alien parasites had begun there, and so we would like to focus our resources there at the moment.
I see. Well, would you like an escort then?
That wouldn't be necessary at this time, ma'am, General. But we would like to that would not necessarily be necessary at this time. I think we'll be able to handle everything at the moment. We've got full command of the ship, and we'll be
I
able to
sort of
return.
signal Lex to mute the con for a second.
Mutes it.
Ask them to attend to the distress call at that other starbase.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They could use their assistance.
Yeah.
Actually, ma'am. Yeah. Actually, ma'am. Oh yeah. I'll unmute it. I'll suggest.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Ma'am. Actually, the starbase. I'll say that I don't know character out of character the name of starbase.
Dinar 1.
Currently at Dinar 1. It currently is requiring assistance. If I would not anyway consider ordering a general, but I would like to suggest potentially request that you would assist them if that would be possible.
I will see
Find
if
out
we
what
have
the
a ship
difference is.
nearby to investigate, but we're not in the habit of investigating Klingon outposts.
I mean, it could be a good diplomatic, a good way to potentially improve our diplomatic standing with the Klingon Empire.
Colonel Krava, you have spent your time with Starfleet too long. And then she cuts communication, and the ship goes to warp. The
Okay.
The Axua goes to warp.
Okay.
We're gonna go to warp now, everybody. They seem nice and loyal, and they're gonna go off and do the starbase thing, I assume. And so we're gonna go to warp.
All right, so you're heading to Starbase 123.
Says.
Yeah.
Shimmer was just like shaking his head no the entire time. He's just like, come on, this is why we have to set a fucking plan in motion and say what we are going to know what we are going to say before we open the hail. We have to communicate, people. Come on.
All right,
let's go.
So I'm assuming you're going to warp, right?
Yeah. Can we outrun that ship?
I mean, your sensors are telling you it's heading towards Romulan space, so I mean.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
They're going at cruising speed. It's not like they're trying to outrun
will-
anyone.
I will note the suspicious nature of the general, and I won't send it anywhere, but I'll have it prepared for my handlers to
Okay.
inform them. Perhaps her loyalties are questionable.
All right. I'm gonna need someone to do a control con to get you guys out of here. Difficulty 1. And I'm gonna need. Do y'all want to cloak or do you want to stay uncloaked?
As long as we're within striking distance of Klingon borders, we probably want to remain cloaked, just so they don't get the wrong idea.
Plus, there's that dreadnought out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Daring or control security to cloak. Difficulty 2.
Someone else do it while I.
Like the security officer, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
My con is terrible.
What do you need? What do you need?
Uh,
There's so much jargon going around, and
Here.
I'm still new to this, so it's a little confusing. What do you need?
Control and security.
Daring-
Difficulty 2 to cloak. To cloak the ship. To make
Oh,
it invisible.
Oh, I can do that.
Control and security. That's my best roll. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One,
That's to
all right.
fly.
I'll roll for the ship to fly.
We need the the cloaking
He's rolling.
roll. As well.
I'll assist with the cloaking if that's possible.
I'll do a direct. So make a presence and command roll, and whatever you roll, we'll just add to his successes,
Okay.
which is nothing.
Yeah,
Alright.
do that cloaking thing that we do.
So 2 momentum. So you're
Go invisible.
Hey Lex, those 2 momentum that you got for the flying is bonus momentum. Is there anything you want to do with that? Lex, you there? Colonel Lex? Am I muted?
Tack, you there?
Rip.
Hey, no, you're not
No, you're not
muted.
muted.
Okay.
Maybe something's happened.
Alright, well, Shamar, are you rolling for the cloak?
Yeah. What am I rolling? Control and security.
Yep, difficulty is 2.
And then what's the complication?
Just
2.
1.
And then how many? 1. Okay.
Just, yeah, and roll 2 dice. Roll 1 more dice. Ooh.
We're gonna fix that.
Yeah, I was
with
about
the
to say, you know what, you have 2,
That's my best roll too. That's horrible.
you have 2 bonus momentum, we'll just
Control
say,
and security are my best.
we'll just say you get
Yeah,
rid of that.
sure.
But you guys do cloak, and you just do it in a slower way than normal. Let's see.
Lieutenant, what's wrong? It's the beginning of the
The shift,
charge
yeah.
pick.
You've never used a cloaking device before.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alright.
Ready for warp, sir.
So you guys go
Yep.
to warp, and let's move you guys to the map to give you a general idea of to remind you where you're going. So you guys are here, and you're going here. Dinar Station is here, so it's not too far away if you wanted to go back. But yeah. Is there anything anyone wants to do in the meantime of you guys, flying out there? Back to Starbase 123.
I mean, I bring up to everybody. We got like a fucking ship full of prisoners. But what are we gonna do about them? Are we just gonna wait until we get to a starbase, or?
I imagine
yeah.
we will hand them over at
Okay, we'll
Starbase
into it.
123.
So then, what are we thinking about this other objective in Klingon space? Or we decided we're just gonna go to the starbase and then come back.
Yeah.
Come back for that.
Yeah, we
next
don't have enough
objective.
crew to efficiently operate
Yeah,
the ship
yeah.
right now.
We can,
Okay.
we
So,
can probably
that sounds like a
resupply.
plan.
Yeah, we can probably resupply either on Starbase 123 or go to a Romulan one, and then just return back to the distress signal, if possible.
And
Have
once
to-
we return to the base, we get like another chance to choose a ship. Like I was before, I think it'd be smart to bring a starship next time.
This is a starship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're not like dropping this off though. We were giving this ship away.
No,
No.
This is
yeah.
our
It's
ship.
a ship.
This is our ship.
Oh right. There's so much background stuff I don't know. Right. This is our ship. You got it.
In the meantime, Colonel, I would be grateful if I could take advantage of this ship's laboratory and medical facilities for the duration of our journey, with anybody coming to supervise, but if you wish. But I do not want to neglect, and he taps the vase, or like the container, having a isolated live sample. At first, just deep scans, nothing surgical. I want to know what I'm dealing with before I start taking any radical action.
Begin the vivisections.
Vosky is not doing that at this time. It may be a seemingly inherently evil life form, but that's very not Star Trek. So this is a life form, and he's gonna understand it, but he wants to do deep scans before he starts cutting things. So scans first, then we consider where we go from there.
No,
Because it's still a life
Basically-
form, damn it.
Kind
And
of
an
like
intelligent
puts
one.
the thumbs up.
So foreseeing future issues, I want to go ahead and make sure that I can say I told you so next game. Am I correct in assuming that you are not interrogating any of the parasites before you get to the starbase?
we could, but I'd say we should do it next session.
Okay. Not going to guarantee
Okay,
that that's going to be possible, but I'll keep that in mind. Just
Okay,
because.
I think the only reason why I said that is because you said you wanted to limit it to 2 hours, and it's been over 2 hours.
Well, no, the
Um,
main, yeah, that end, but the main reason is because, if, for example, you get diverted to somewhere else, or if I start the game with you guys arriving at the starbase, then I don't want to hear, oh, I wanted to interrogate the prisoners, and then
Yeah.
it's too late. So I want to make sure that I
think
get
it-
that answer now.
I think it would be a very wise idea for us to interrogate, starting with the most senior staff, the
Yes.
the parasite ones, working down in order of rank. Vosky probably won't be around to do that because he's going to be in the lab, but the people who are able to do that should do that.
Begin the interrogations.
Because it took, 8 hours in a relatively slow vessel to get here, so we're not going to have long.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically, kind of like says putting the thumbs up.
All right.
But yeah.
All right.
One thing, just as a side note, it's probably not going to come up, and it'll probably be far beyond the scope of this. But Vosky would be fascinated to learn why these parasites seem to always be evil. Like even species 1472, I forget the number, was capable of being like reform and reasonable. So, what is it that makes them act in this way? And maybe he could find some sort of way where we don't have to be permanently destroying one another. But he needs to study them first.
Yep, it's a possibility. Anything is a possibility, especially since you have some prisoners that you could talk to. But we'll have to get to that next game. All right.
Yeah, I'm just going to note out of character that the kinder, gentler Tal Shiar seems to have gone out the window.
Yep.
As
I've
it
been
should.
mostly gentle and nice.
Oh, I just mean in the last couple of orders.
Basically, it kind of like says, apparently to that general, you're too Starfleet person,
You've been hanging around Starfleet too long.
and Starfleet too long.
No, she's just part of the old guard. They're just like that.
All right. Any questions,
We're
comments?
much kinder.
Sorry, go
We're
ahead.
much kinder and gentler in the new Toshiar. We're much kinder and gentler in the new Toshiar. And she does the finger pyramid.
Oh God.
Oh, okay. She must be shot immediately. No.
So
Yep.
I would like to do reputation for this game just because it's a good separation between this one and the next, and I don't want to basically have like 17 parts where I have to keep track of reputation. So I'll go ahead and do that. Does anyone have to leave out? Karava, I know you said you were sick, so I'll probably do
Me.
yours first. Oh, Shamar too. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Acting, well, this hopefully will take care of both of you. Acting course orders and directives, yes, +1. Challenge the directive. I don't think anyone challenged the directive that I can remember. Active above me on the Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm gonna give.
What is that even like?
That's just basically like outside of your normal course of duty, like taking a dagger to the chest probably counts. Um, so
Yeah.
let's see, directly contributed saving lives.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
I
but
took I took a bullet in his chest and a stag wound because no one had a weapon.
I mean, you had a well. That's true. You didn't have a weapon, but that didn't really.
No one. That's why I did what I did. Is nobody had a weapon, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take the brunt of everything.
Well, Karava did, but and Vosky did.
Yeah, yeah. We
His
have
was
like
hidden.
one gun among us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Taking unnecessary risks. You know what? That was that was a huge risk. I mean, not just the throwing the dagger, but like literally getting up in his face as the dagger is sinking into him and he's grabbing it to pull it out, and you just run up at him, and then you get. I kind of want to give you that.
Yeah.
That just because
That's
don't get me wrong, it was awesome as shit. Like I loved hearing you describe it. Let's see, person under your command were killed.
I think I'm not really like 100% clear on like what combat's like if that was an disadvantage. So yeah.
To my knowledge, I don't think they have rules as written for throwing a dagger and then charging at someone. So I kind of had to just figure it out.
I did not expect you to use my dagger back on me. My thinking was
well, it was his
face because he's gonna draw his pistol.
That
was my thinking.
Well, that was the thing. That was the thing. He had a rifle in his hand, and you charged him, getting up into like a foot distance. So he already had his hand up, at the wound. So he's like, well, I might as well. Let's see. Directly contributed. That's okay.
That's what I like about Star Trek combat system. That you can, if you're getting attacked, you can fight back. It's much more dynamic.
Yeah. Prevent combat. I'm gonna say no on that. Maintain the prime directive. No. Formed an alliance with an enemy. No. Resorted to lethal force. Directly contributed to deaths of others. First of all, who here directly killed somebody? Anybody, like a parasite, anything for any reason? I'm pretty sure Vosky is the only one who didn't, if I remember correctly.
Demena did.
I don't think I actually killed anybody.
Oh wait, you're right. You just stabbed him and then got shot a bunch.
I stabbed him and then got fucked.
Lex.
I got fucked in like 2 turns.
And Lex
I
did.
shot him.
Yeah, Lex didn't.
All right, so if you killed a parasite or a person controlled by a parasite before we even do reputation, reduce your reputation by 4 immediately. So I know for sure that's Kamina.
Kill someone?
No, if you did kill someone or something, reduce your reputation by 4 immediately. I know Kamina's one. I don't remember who the other people are, just because so much is going on. Yeah, I know a bunch of you shot him. The only reason why I remember Kamina is because she transported him into space.
I think I shot someone. I don't know. I think the Reman finished off 2 of them.
Yeah, the Reman did. I think the Remans did kill at least 2. So some of y'all might have gotten lucky on that one. But
I think I might have killed somebody. I'm not 100% sure though.
So for Karava,
if nobody else did, then you must have, Karava.
Yeah, I did. I think it was Karava and Kamina. So for Karava and Shamar, both of you roll 2 positive dice. So just after you do your -4 thing, if you have to, just roll 2 positive dice or 2 dice. If you don't remember how we did it, let me know and I'll walk you through it again.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna open your character sheet so I can see where you're at. So yeah.
It's the star.
Yep. Just
next to rank, right?
Yeah. Just roll that.
My current reputation is 13. I got 1 reputation point. So would it be 14 or would it be 10?
Did you take away the 4 for killing someone?
I thought was that a part of the dice roll or was that separate?
So the way I do it, because Star Trek Adventures is dumb, is before anyone rolls anything, you do negative stuff. You do your negative stuff. So for reputation, if you start out at 13, just automatically put it at 9, and then roll, and then add your 1, which would put you up to 10. And the reason I do that is because if you don't do that, then you end up with a bunch of characters that should be demoted getting promoted and vice versa. All right, so Shamar and Karava is taken care of. Lex, 1, 2, directly contributed to saving lives. I don't think so. I don't think you killed anyone. Foreign alliance, no. Maintain a primary record, no. Prevented combat, no. So yeah, go ahead and roll 2, Lex. And then Edgeford.
Okay. Also, I'm going to put down a note that when we return to the star base, I'll talk to a counselor about killing somebody.
Okay, that's probably.
I think that would affect her mentally.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So yeah, Vosky, 2, directly contributed to saving lives. I'm gonna say yes because you did while everyone was like kill it. Even though you didn't want to, you picked up the creature and put it in your box. So that's 5 positive reputation. I don't think you have any negatives. I mean, I don't imagine a science officer doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So
not until they get their hands on the super bioweapons lab. No.
So yeah, 5 for Vosky.
Okay. Is there something for using the determination? I can't remember if that.
There
does
is. We'll
something.
get to that. Acted in accordance. Okay, this is for Kamina. After you removed your 4, acted in accordance with orders directives. Yes. I don't think you challenged directive. I know a lot of people were talking back and forth about, disagreeing with certain orders and things and certain ideas, but nobody in character that
I didn't disobey an order at any point. I just didn't necessarily like them.
Yeah. And you didn't challenge it to the point of Go ahead.
What was my reputation? Change.
I believe it was 2. Which is what it looks like. What most people's gonna get. Active above me on the Call of Duty, yes. Directly contributed to saving lives, I don't think so. Taking unnecessary risks. I'm
beaming something into space.
Yeah, but I think the -4 took care of that pretty well. Let's see. Personnel under your commander killed, not yet. I mean, there are a lot of people. Actually, Karava -1 for personnel under your command were killed because you did lose quite a few Reman and Romulan NPCs in that battle. Not only because of the Romulan, the ones that were parasite controlled, but like their hosts were completely innocent of everything. So, but also the Reman.
Yeah, but they were technically already dead though. Like when they were infected, there was there's no way to separate them out.
Yeah, but
why are we keeping the other ones?
Even if that's the case, the Reman still died. So there's, I mean, the way I look at it is, I try to be as harsh as I possibly can because the system is so vague and abstract and lenient, and I want people to role play into their character. Rather than me just giving a bunch of points and then buying a bunch of stuff with it and then it not really having any impact. Directly contributing to the deaths of others, yes. Resorted to lethal force without cause. Nothing was without cause. That was the thing. Y'all were going peacefully up until a couple individuals rounded a corner and kind of started everything off. Formed alliance with an enemy. No.
Unless the Remans were an enemy.
Nah, they weren't. Formed alliance with an enemy. Maintain a primary directive. Prevented combat. No. Well, actually, yeah. So this goes for you too, Lex. If you put up the force fields, you guys prevented a lot of combat. So, also with the transporter. So basically, a lot of combat was prevented for people that worked on the transporter and put up the force fields. So that's pretty much the engineers. So add an additional one to that. So it's going to be 3 for Kamina as well as Lex.
Okay.
Who did I not get to? Did I get to everyone?
I did order that though.
Yeah,
actually, when you removed a certain number of steps.
Prevented combat also. I mean, everything that Karava did as the person in charge was intended to do that very thing of prevent combat, whether it's diplomacy or lying to the guards or whatever. So yeah, go ahead and add another one to that one too. Um, so did I get everyone's reputation? Um,
Looks like everyone's rolled.
just um, all right. I'm just for the sake of not wanting to go through all this again. I'm not going to do the Romulan reputation chart this game, but yeah, we have to do that too next time. So if everyone's rolled the reputation, now we do milestones. So if you have challenged a value or used a value with a direct with a determination, then you automatically get a normal milestone. If you don't know,
Oh, that's what that was. Okay.
Yep. Also, if you took an injury, which I know you did, Shamar. So all you do with a milestone is up there where it says normal. You just get rid of that 0 and put a 1 in there. And I can't remember all the people that used determinate. I know it was like 3 people. But does anyone have a vote for who should get a spotlight milestone? So basically, a spotlight milestone is, like it sounds like it has to be someone who got a normal milestone, because it's going to replace the normal milestone. But someone who basically stood out, got a milestone, but also stood out as somebody who did, either did something heroic or just kind of stood out as in the kind of in the spotlight as a kind of quote unquote main character and did a lot of the things that needed doing. Does anyone have any advice on who that could be?
This session was Karava's session in terms of acting, giving orders, etc., etc.
Okay. Anyone else have anything? All right.
I would feel selfish mentioning myself, but
Oh no, no. I mean, me as the GM, I didn't forget
pretty
you.
epic.
I didn't, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I was gonna say the one who got stabbed. But
well, that's
Yeah.
well, he got the normal milestone for that. You only get normal milestones for injuries. But I can definitely see as the chief security officer that maybe he deserves a spotlight for the things that he did. But so far, Mac, are you voting for Shamar?
yeah,
All right, and we got Edgeford voting for Karava. Shamar, who are you voting for? And no, I don't allow people to vote for themselves. Sorry.
I'd say for Karava because that's the only other person.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't remember. Like I said, I don't remember who else got a normal milestone due to injuries or determination. So I know there are others.
I was the only person that was pro.
Say again, Jamer?
So yeah, crap.
Okay. Let's see. Kamina, who do you vote for?
I'll vote for Karava.
All right. So Karava, instead of a normal milestone, you get a spotlight milestone. And don't forget.
Thank you.
Everyone to it's on your second sheet where your reputation is. Also, actually, let me look at everyone's reputation real quick. So first of all, who's good for Saturday, next Saturday, or do you want to be the Saturday after?
I'm likely to be some distance away. Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Shema, you were saying something.
I was just for both, but I prefer the most recent one.
Okay, so everyone's good for next Saturday except for Edgeford, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know how this goes, like if I say, okay, we'll do it 2 weeks from now, all of a sudden half of y'all will something will come up. So I'm gonna set it for next Saturday, same time and everything. But if somebody, like I said, if something does come up, let me know beforehand, and we'll just set it for the next one after that. And then as far as Edgeford's character goes, if Edgeford, if you can't make it, we'll just say that you're busy studying the life form, and then when you come back the next time, I'll just give you all the information that you would possibly need. Let's see what else. I think. Oh. Regarding reputation, because this comes up a lot in my games. If it goes over 15, I immediately just lower it to 15 as soon as I start the game, because I don't. basically the way reputation is let's say you have 18 reputation. That means anything under an 18 is a positive reputation, which means you can only fail if you get a 19 and 20, which is fine, except for we do have players that like to have like 50 or 45 reputation and then can never fail. So I have made it a house rule that when you start each game, it cannot be over 15. So you're like, well, how do we, use that reputation? There are commendations that you can buy which give you mechanical benefits to your. And the guy I'm actually telling this to is left. But for those of you who don't know or maybe have forgotten, there are commendations that you can buy. There are some in the homebrew and house rules channel as well as in the book. If you need me to, I will specifically make one, but that's only if you can't find one that applies. Does anybody have any questions or comments or concerns or anything?
I gotta transfer that Raymond to be my bodyguard. He's a real MVP.
Well, he is your
Okay.
bodyguard until the captain or the first officer returns. You're effectively the first officer now because once they get the captain back, they're probably not going to take Subcommander Drenal back as XO. So, yeah, he's more or less he is your bodyguard.
Okay, that's